Chapter 81. Rank 2 Initial Stage. The footsteps got closer, and soon the dark green trees at the side of the slope were forcefully separated. A tall man stepped forward, appearing in Fang Yuan's vision. He had black short hair, each strand standing straight up. The upper half of his body was naked. He had a large and thick body, the entirety of his body muscles bright red color. He was almost 2 meters tall, and during the cold autumn, he gave off the feeling of a mobile cauldron. His every breath able to raise the surrounding temperature. On his waist, several wild beast corpses were hanged. There were foxes, wild rabbits, and chickens, not to forget the old wolf who had just left. Seeing Fang Yuan, he was slightly shocked, but quickly took large steps and walked past Fang Yuan. Gyuchi Shan. Seeing the large man's back leaving, Fang Yuan thought of his name. He was a representative of the Qi faction, having rank 2 upper stage cultivation. His experiences were similar to Fang Yuan even. This person was also very talented, having very great strength from young. At 10 he accidentally beat a family servant to death, and at 12 he could hold a heavy stone grinder and played it like a frisbee. Back then, the family all thought well of him, thinking he was an A grade. But during the awakening ceremony, they tested that his talent was only B grade. He had an originally wild and untamable nature, looking down on everyone. But he quickly changed after this experience, becoming more mature. Even with B-grade talent, he was the top student in his level. After a year of studying, he graduated from the academy and fought his way to the top. Years later, he had already become an elite among the clan's rank 2 Gu masters. Happiness cannot teach a person life's true meaning, while only pain and suffering can. In the clan, a youngster attends the awakening ceremony at 15 and enters the academy. At 16, they graduate from the academy and form a 5-person group and complete the clan's missions, at the same time inheriting the family fortune. From 16, they will fight and compete while continually raising their cultivation. As the missions get more dangerous, their status will also increase. Some die and some live. Some get injured, and their cultivation level drops, living a plain life thereafter. Some become a rank 3 Gu master after all the hardship and advance to clan elder, being one of the higher-ups. Fang Yuan's gaze shone, thinking of many things. The more a Gu master cultivates, the harder it gets, and advancing becomes way more difficult. Coupled with dangerous and tough living environment, those that can advance to rank 3 are few to none. Speaking of which, it is almost winter. That means I've spent almost a year at the academy. Each year there are 2 examinations. The first is the mid-year exam, with different contents each year. The second is the year-end exam, and the contents never change, being arena fights. After the arena fight, I would no longer be able to stay at the hostel, and I would need to move out. Move out? But stay where? Fang Yuan could not live with his aunt and uncle, which was what they wanted. In this world, 16 mid-adulthood, the age to start reproduction. Coupled with Fang Yuan's numerous secrets, he needed to live independently. In my previous life, after leaving the academy, I was only rank 1 middle stage. This time, the situation is much better. I would be rank 1 peak stage by then. But with a C-grade talent, coming this far is really an achievement. Although it had its costs, expending much of my primeval stones. Fang Yuan's eyebrows raised. He did not have many primeval stones left. Restricted by his talent, the primeval stones he expended for cultivation was much more than Fang Zheng, Qi Qing, or Mo Bei. He raised 6 Gu worms by himself. Furthermore, the liquor worms' refinement, nurturing the aperture, using the whiteboard Gu to increase strength, they all needed primeval essence. After the primeval essence was used up, with a C-grade recovery speed, it could not satisfy his needs, so he could only use primeval stones and retrieve the natural essence within to replenish. Luckily, he had the spring-autumn cicada, and also retrieved 2 Gu from earth treasury flowers, thus refining Gu worms did not expend much of his primeval stones. This made him feel slightly better, but after this when he leaves the academy, he needs to rent a house and get some income. After peak stage, it was to push for rank 2. This process would spend a lot of primeval stones. After rank 2, he still had to combine Gu worms, and each combination attempt was a hefty cost. With all these factors, he was even clearer that his financial situation could no longer support him. Furthermore, he still had to continue feeding his Gu worms and continue cultivating. If it wasn't for the mid-year exam where he used the wild boar tusks to exchange for quite some primeval stones and alleviated the pressure, he would not have survived till now. Primeval stones, the flower wine monk did not give any primeval stones in his inheritance. What a shame. Extorting my classmates is still my most important source of income. But after graduating, the academy's allowance would stop, and I cannot continue extorting. But if I get first for the year-end exam, I can get 150 primeval stones as reward. Fang Yuan contemplated in his heart. If he could get first place, the 150 primeval stones would alleviate his financial difficulty for a while. Time flies, autumn leaves and winter comes. On the arena in the academy, 3 stages had already been built. Beside the stage, near the bamboo walls of the arena, there were tents and long tables and chairs. The academy elder, clan leader, and a few other clan elders were sitting below the tentage cover. There was a little snow in the sky. 57 students stood straight on the arena. Each of their noses were bright red from the weather, and every breath they took had steam coming out of their noses. The academy elder spoke loudly. In a flash, a year has ended. During this year, you were trained in the academy and have started to grasp the qualities of a Gu master. Tomorrow, you will have the year-end examination to test the fruits of your hard work. Not only will the clan leader and clan elders come personally to watch, your family elders and seniors will also come to observe to pick excellent performing students to join their small teams. Your performances tomorrow will to a large extent affect your future. Getting first place, not only is it 150 primeval stones, but you also get an advantage in picking Gu worms. Now, start the final cultivation check in your academic life. Saying so, the academy elder nodded to a Gu master beside him. The female Gu master received the instructions and called out the name from the list, Gu Jinshu. A young girl walked towards the Gu master with a nervous expression. The Gu master stretched out her hand, touching the young girl's abdomen. She closed her eyes to feel, then opened her eyes and declared, Gu Jinshu, rank 1 middle stage. Next, Gu Ping. One after another, youngsters went up to check. Then they walked back down and returned to the group. Their expressions varied. Some were happy while others were upset. The worst result was naturally rank 1 initial stage, all being the D-grade talents. A large number of the students were rank 1 middle stage, and little of them were B-grade, mostly C grades. Gu Chi-chung, the middle-aged female Gu master, called. From the group, the shortest Gu Chi-chung puffed his chest and walked out. After checking, the female Gu master opened her eyes. Gu Chi-chung, rank 1 peak stage. Up till now, this was the first rank 1 peak stage Gu master. The clan elders present turned their heads. Some elders recognized, saying lightly, this is Qi Lian's grandson, having B-grade talent, no wonder. Outside the tent, the youngsters also commented. Qi Qing is rank 1 peak stage. I wonder if Mobe is too. They are rivals after all. Being able to advance to peak stage, they are all A and B grades. Sigh, we C and D grades encounter bitterness that cannot be envied. Humph. Mobe snorted. Seeing Qi Cheng's proud expression, he was annoyed. Jiu Fang Zheng clenched his fists, his lips tightly shut, as if he was stifling in his emotions. Gu Mobe. Soon, the examiner called. The horse-faced Mobe quickly walked out. Gu Mobe, rank 1 peak stage. With this declaration, he walked back and stared defiantly at Gu Chi Ching when returning. The examination continued, and the snow in the sky became smaller until it vanished. The cold, chilly air was rather refreshing. Gu Fang Yuan, the middle-aged female Gu master, called. Fang Yuan walked up expressionlessly. Soon after, she opened her eyes, looking at Fang Yuan in shock, before declaring, Gu Fang Yuan, rank 1 peak stage. Rank 1 peak stage, did I hear wrongly? Fang Yuan cultivated to this level. The youngsters were shocked. Sigh, he's just lucky, having the liquor worm to nurture his aperture. Even against the A and B grades, with his C grade he isn't at a disadvantage. Some youngsters said with envy, especially those C-grade talents, they sourly said to console themselves, this isn't much. The liquor worm cannot refine rank 2 primeval essence. Fang Yuan would no longer have such an advantage anymore. Even if he is peak stage, he is still a C-grade. This is of no concern to us. Mobe and Qi Qing stared at Fang Yuan, but quickly turned their attention to Fang Zheng, who was still waiting for his turn. In their hearts, only the A-grade talent Fang Zheng was a competitor. Brother, you've caught me by surprise. But from now on, watch carefully. Fang Zheng looked at Fang Yuan walking down. His eyes shone and revealed an anticipating expression. Gu Fang Zheng. The female Gu master finally said, the A-grade talent? The clan elders focused their attention to Fang Zheng. Fang Zheng walked out from the crowd. He could feel the pressure that these gazes were bringing him, causing him to become slightly nervous. But when he saw the clan leader Gu Yubo's smile, The nervousness in his heart melted. He walked in front of the female Gu master. She shut her eyes, and then abruptly opened her eyes, saying in shock, Gu Fangzheng, cultivation level, rank 2 initial stage. Boom. The youngsters erupted into a wave of discussions. What? He reached rank 2. As expected of the A-grade talent genius. Incredible, he left Mo Bei, Qi Qing, and Fang Yuan in the dust. This Fangzheng. At once, Mo Bei and Qi Qing stared at Fangzheng in shock. He, actually higher than in my previous life. Fang Yuan's eyelids drooped down as he laughed. He was not surprised, and after observing Fang Zheng's expression earlier, he could guess the result. A grade talent after all. The hope of our clan. This is the credit of clan leaders' nurturing. The clan elders praised. At once, Fangzheng became the center of attention. Half a year ago, Gibo gave him a jade skin Gu and asked him to be the first person to advance to rank 2. He did it. Clan leader, I did not disappoint you. I did it. From now on, I will achieve even more, getting the approval of the clan elders and the people around me. Brother, I've left you behind. You are no longer the shadow in my heart. I, Gu Fangzheng, am no longer the one from back then. Fangzheng yelled in his heart, his eyes shining with a kind of brilliance. This brilliance is called confidence. Chapter 82. Start of the year-end examination. The sun was bright after the snow passed. Gu masters streamed into the academy in the morning. The annual year-end exam has begun again. I wonder if the scene I saw from more than a decade ago when I graduated will be seen again. A middle-aged Gu master with long green hair cascading down his back stood outside the academy, reminiscing. Leader, get in, you love reminiscing. The young female Gu master beside him had blood-red lips, her hands placed in the pockets of her pants. There was a blade of grass in her mouth, and she rolled her eyes. Yo Hong, don't rush. We have to get in anyway. Since the clan leader had arranged it already, our new members have been decided long ago. The green-haired Gu master laughed. The A-grade talent Fangzheng? The female Gu master Gu Yao Hong tooted in her mouth, saying unhappily, the clan leader's idea is to get us to babysit him. But this babysitting mission is not easy to accomplish. The green-haired male Gu master sighed, never mind, let's go in. As time passed, more and more Gu masters entered the academy doors and stood in the arena. These were male and female Gu masters. There were young faces, middle-aged, and old people as well. Gu masters after graduating would come out and form small teams to complete the clan missions. The Gu masters that came to the arena were all the representatives of their groups, to assess the performances of the students and absorb them into their own teams. To the small groups. This was injecting fresh blood and expanding their group. To the newly joined members, under the guidance and teaching of the older members, they can swiftly adapt to the new environment and more effectively complete the clan missions and result in lesser deaths. The sun gradually rose as the students entered the fray. So many people today. The youngsters proclaimed. Quickly see, that is Lord Qing Shu. He is our Guyu clan's #1 person among the rank 2, and he is known for his mild and amiable temper. A person pointed at the green-haired male Gu master and shouted, Qi Shan Sr. is here too. That is the Mo family's little Miss Mo Yin. Qing Shu, Qi Shan, and Mo Yin were the rising stars of the Gu masters, known by all students. Sigh, their teams are too hard to get in. I am only D grade, and my vital Gu is a gentle silk spider. I am meant to be a support staff. A youngster sighed, then asked his friend, You? Oh, I got it settled with relationships. Through the godson of my uncle's cousin's sister. As the students observed the Gu masters, Qing Shu, Qi Shan, and Mo Yin also observed the students. Oh, there are 2 Gu Fangzhengs. Yao Hong saw Fang Yuan and Fangzheng, shouting out subconsciously. The green-hair male Gu master Gu Qing Shu helplessly sighed. Did you see the information I gave you yesterday? Fangzheng has a twin brother. They look very similar in appearance, but his brother is only C-grade talent. Oh, so that's the case. I seem to have heard that the one who made poems when he was young was Fang Yuan. Are we getting him into the team? Yao Hong patted her forehead with her palm, saying whatever she thought of. Qing Mao shook his head. The clan leader specifically mentioned, do not recruit him. He seems to be wanting to observe something. The brothers don't have a good relationship anyway. Even if we want to recruit him, Fang Yuan probably wouldn't join. Yao Hong did not think much of it, muttering, among the groups, we are the publicly acclaimed #1. Joining us means a bright future. Any student would be interested. How could he be unwilling? Qing Shu laughed lightly. That's because you don't know him. Look at the information I sent you first. At this time, the the clan leader Guyubo, and the authoritative clan elders Guyu Qilian and Guyu Emochin entered, getting into the seats under the tenage. Not only the clan leader, but also Lord Qilian and Lord Mo Bei are attending this year. Seeing this, not only the students but also the Gu masters were excited. This did not happen in previous years. Nothing strange. Qilian and Mo Chin's grandsons are all in this year's class. Fang Zheng is the clan leader's successor, the hope of the future to go against by Ningbing. The clan leader naturally has to observe carefully. Discussions were aplenty among the people. Perform well, brother. Mo Yin looked at Mo Bei among the people, silently praying in her heart. Her group had the most people. It was of the largest scale. Thus there were a bunch of Gu masters around her, showing her imposing aura. As her most intense rival, Guyu Qi Shan from the Qi faction was standing alone, his huge figure easily acting like a giant red tower in a sea of people. Standing out extensively. After checking out Qi Qing, he retracted his vision. With a speech from the clan leader, the year-end exam began. The 3 stages held fights at the same time. At once, shouting noises, sounds of moon blades flying, and the sounds of punches and kicks, as well as the discussions of the Gu masters below the stages, fused into a loud banter. This year's physical fighting skills is high. Soon, Yao Hong saw the difference. He, all thanks to Fang Yuan. Yu Qingshu laughed. What do you mean? Yao Hong did not understand. Qingshu explained to her. Yao Hong exclaimed in shock after listening, Fang Yuan, this lad, he's really daring, almost to the point of fearless. He, bullying even his own brother. This is interesting. She looked towards Fang Yuan and Fang Zheng from the crowd, thinking internally, which is the elder brother and which is the younger one. Next, Guyu Jinju against Guyu Mo Bei. On the arena, the hosting Gu master shouted. Guyu Mo Bei leapt upwards, and Jinju walked up the stage with a serious expression. The two paid respects to each other and said no more, fighting at once. Moon blades danced in the air. The two continued to shoot and at the same time, moving and evading nonstop. Although a girl, Jin Zhu had good basic skills and was able to fight equally with Mo Bei for a while. But as time passed, her stamina could not keep up, and she started to be suppressed. Finally, with her body full of sweat and having no energy left, she surrendered. Mo Bei, on the other hand, was not even phased. Increasing endurance Guha. Probably the yellow camel longhorn beetle Gu. Below the stage, Fang Yuan observed, quickly seeing through Mo Bei. Fang Yuan had 6 Gu worms, but that was an exception. Among the people of his age, they all had 1 or 2 Gu worms, not only because of the financial stress of feeding Gu worms, but also because the Gu worms' usage needed constant practice to accumulate experience. Greed for more would backfire. The students only started interacting with Gu worms, and just began on their cultivation journey. 2 Gu worms were enough for them to practice. Only an exception like Fang Yuan, with his rich experience from his previous life, could easily grasp every Gu worm that comes into possession and use them to the very best he can. The exam continued. Damn. Jumping like a rabbit. On another stage, a youngster angrily shouted, Guyu Qi, you're not a man. Do you dare to fight with me physically? TSK, only a fool would fight close range with you. On the stage, Guyu Qi laughed in disdain. He used the scarlet pill cricket Gu and jumped around, his body being very agile. His opponent only had a flower board Gu. Even if he could temporarily raise his strength by 1 boar, it was useless. Qi would not go hand-to-hand with him. Finally, he got hit by a moon blade from Qi and lost too much blood, retiring from the fight. The healing Gu masters below the stage quickly rushed up and treated his injuries. As time passed, more and more students were mercilessly eliminated, and many youngsters also started to show their abilities. Qi, Mo Bei, Fang Yuan, Fang Zheng, until noon, the D-grade talents were all eliminated. They had limited talent and all chose support-type Gu worms for production line or transport, which suited their lives. Thus, they had little help in battles. Little junior sister, your vital Gu is a life breath grass, right? My group needs a healer Gu master. Senior, I wish to join your group. My vital Gu is a moonlight Gu. Sorry, we are not lacking any attack-type Gu master. The small groups quickly recruited newbies, and the students also chose the groups they wanted. The fights on the stage did not have much visual appeal, and after a few rounds, there were not many highlights. It was even boring. This was because most people chose the moonlight Gu, and to most people, the fight would start with shooting moonblades. Whoever expended their primeval essence first would lose. If both parties had no more primeval essence, they would fight with punches and kicks. At the end, one will fall. Be it students, gu masters, or clan elders, they got bored watching and some were about to fall asleep. Until evening, there were only less than 10 students left on the stage, finally ending. Some gu masters lifted their spirits, shrugging off the sleepiness. At this moment, the gu master shouted, "Next round, Gu Fangzheng versus Gu Mobe." Chapter 83. Sweeping Strong Foes. Fangzheng displays his skills. Fangzheng and Imochen both walked up the stage. Fangzheng, don't think that I will lose just because you have rank 2 cultivation. Today I will challenge and beat a higher realm. Mobe gritted his teeth, his expression solemn, cheering for himself in his heart. Against the rank 2 Fangzheng, he indeed felt a strong sense of pressure. Come. Fangzheng roared, rushing out ferociously. Mobe's heart jumped. This Fangzheng wasn't acting according to plan. Normally, they would first shoot moon blades before using hand-to-hand combat. But this time, he actually rushed up immediately and wants to fight physically. Isn't he afraid of getting injured by my moon blade when exchanging punches and kicks? Mobe was perturbed. He was naturally not worried for Fangzheng's safety, but knew that if they engaged in close combat, with such a short distance if Fangzheng shot a moon blade, it was unavoidable. Mobe quickly took a step back, attempting to pull some distance. At the same time, he shot out a moon blade with a flick of his wrist. Fangzheng was unfazed, taking a tumble and avoiding the moon blade, continuing his pursuit. At the same time, a lump of lunar energy collected in his palm. Mobe looked at the moonlight in his hands that hasn't been fired and felt tense in his heart, quickly taking steps back. Although he worked hard in close combat and also trained his moon blade, he was still inferior to Fangzheng, who was nurtured personally by the clan leader. Mobe was not suited to this style of combat, and quickly fell into disadvantage. That side is interesting. The battle on this arena attracted much attention. They're actually fighting so closely. This Fangzheng has guts. Yao Hong could now discern who was Fang Yuan and Fangzheng. Fang Yuan had a cold expression and emitted an aura of maturity, while Fangzheng was steel-willed, radiating a sunny aura. It must be the clan leader's teaching. Normally when students fight, they would be 10 meters apart. Further than this distance and the moon blade would dissipate. If they fought closer than this distance, the students would not react in time. The Yuqing Shu's gaze shone. Fangzheng's battle distance now has shrunk to 6 meters, but his ability to avoid the moon blade is proficient. It seems that not only is the clan leader helping Fangzheng, but Fangzheng also put in some hard work and went through much hardship. Little brother. Mo Yin, seeing Mobe forced into a corner by Fangzheng, showed worry and panic on her face. She really wanted to go in and help out, giving Fangzheng a good beating. Shan, however, was expressionless, only watching and not speaking. After Fangzheng got close to Mobe and shortened the distance to 6 meters, he no longer got closer, but used the moonlight goo and entered a firing contest. Mobe tried hard to improvise. His actions were in a mess, and many times he was almost hit by the moon blades, constantly in danger. Fangzheng, on the other hand, already had his winning formula. Even if he could not evade in time, he still had the jade skin goo. And as long as he uses the jade green glow in time, he would be able to block the moon blade. Seeing how Mobe was defenselessly beaten by himself, Fangzheng's thoughts flew back to a time in the past. Under the moonlight, the clan leader taught him the evasion movement step by step, unreservedly imparting him all the experience he had. Clan leader, I will not let you down. Fangzheng's eyes shimmered with hope. He was getting braver as he fought. Fangzheng, you have the talent and the endurance, studiously training. The result is all because of your blood and sweat. This is the fruits of your hard work. Continue like this, Fangzheng. Using this aura, go and show your brilliance. Under the tintage, the clan leader excitedly cheered on inwardly. Even though he looked like he was quietly watching the fight, his lips curled into a smile. Although Mobe struggled furiously, resisting adamantly, but after 15 minutes, his entire body was full of injuries, the blood oozing out and dyeing his shirt red. The organizing Gu master, upon seeing such a scene, announced, "The victory goes to Gu Fangzheng. I haven't lost yet." Mobe shouted loudly, his entire bloodbath body wavering in the air. But after struggling to no end, he was forced to receive treatment by the healing Gu masters. A battle of such an intensity is already beyond the graduating standard. An A-grade talent is after all a genius. I heard he received personal guidance from the clan leader. Can he not be amazing? Seeing such a result, the Gu masters below the stage praised endlessly. Gu Fangzheng panted as he walked down the stage. 3 Gu masters came to him and healed him, while also providing free primeval stones to allow him to quickly recover his primeval essence. After resting for a while, he recovered to his peak condition and ascended the stage again. This time, he was against Guyu Qi-Ching. Qi-Ching looked at Fang Zheng, laughing dryly. Very good. Fang Zheng, you defeated Mo Bei, that rascal. If I defeat you now, it would be killing 2 birds with 1 stone. He seemed very confident. Fang Zheng's lips remained tight, as he said nothing but rushed towards him. Dragonbill Cricket Gu. Qi-Ching's thought flashed, and immediately an orange-red-colored glow came from both his legs. He leapt lightly and instantly retreated 10 meters away. The distance that Fang Zheng had just shortened was immediately lengthened. Hee. Qi-Ching got smug and laughed. Fang Zheng, you have no speed increasing Gu, and with your 2 legs, you cannot catch me. Although this stage isn't big, it is enough for me to maneuver. Your tactic might have worked on Mo Bei, but against me it is ineffective. Is that so? Fang Zheng stopped his movements and stood on the spot, staring intently at Qi-Ching. He smiled, his eyes showing iron will, shouting loudly, continue dodging like that. But every time you use the Dragonil Cricket Gu, you have to use a certain amount of primeval essence. You have merely rank 1 peak stage green copper primeval essence, but I am already at rank 2 red steel primeval essence, 3 times your endurance. Your talent is inferior to me as well. At the end, you would run out of primeval essence and the loser will be you. You. Qi-Ching was shocked. He only saw his advantage but did not notice his weakness. Right now, he could not help but agree with Fang Zheng, and his fighting spirit dampened. What? Fang Zheng is rank 2. The surrounding Gu masters gasped. The examination results were only obtained the day before, thus they were only spread among certain people, so most of the crowd did not know about it yet. An A-grade talent, no doubt. Amazing. This Fang Zheng might really be the rising star of our clan. My clan has that by Ning Bing. He is really too powerful. If Fang Zheng can grow up, he might be able to resist by Ning Bing. This lad is interesting. Getting to rank 2 in the academy and with such solid basic skills, this is such an uncommon scene. No wonder the clan leader poured so much effort into him, Yao Hong muttered. Qing Shu replied, the clan leader's guidance is only part of it. Don't look down on this lad. Ever since he survived the assassination incident, he has become very hard-working, cultivating to the best of his limits. He is a good seedling, with both talent and hard work. If he can grow up. Sigh, I feel like my burden is increasing. Clan leader Gyubo laughed lightly. Qi-Cheng's weak nature was analyzed by him to Fang Zheng. Now that he saw Fang Zheng using it to his advantage, Gyubo was very pleased. It seems that Fang Zheng is this year's number 1. Beside the clan leader, Gyu Emochin said. Gyu Qilian snorted, staring at the scene intently. He obviously wished for his grandson to win and defeat Fang Zheng. That way he would win honor for the Qi faction. But things do not go as he wished, and on the stage after getting demoralized, Qi-Chung could no longer display his 100% ability against Fang Zheng and made continuous mistakes. Eventually, Qi-Ching was caught with a fatal flaw and was swept down the stage. Guyu Fang Zheng wins. Gu Master announced. Gyu Qilian's face was black. At once, Fang Zheng was famous, getting all the attention from the clan people. Fang Zheng beat Mo Bei and Qi-Ching simultaneously with wits and courage. It seems he is the first place this year. Some people praised. Makes sense. I think well of him as well. Too bad he cannot join our group. As the groups choose students, students are also choosing groups. A seated student like Fang Zheng was already long booked. Fang Zheng is the clan leader's faction, while Mo Bei, Qi-Ching are the Mo faction, Qi faction's future leaders. This way, it seems that the Guyu clan would be heavily dominated by the clan leader faction, suppressing the 2 clan elders. Some people could see even further. On the other 2 stages, the battles continued. Fang Zheng walked down the stage long ago, hearing the people's praises, his heart roaring as he felt himself being reborn. Different. It was very different from before. His heart was filled with the excitement of recognition, the anticipation of being appreciated, and the joy of being commended. A gust of winter wind blew, and although he felt the chilly wind, Fang Zheng could only feel the sense of warmth like the summer day. Last match, Gyu Fang Zheng versus Gyu Fang Yuan. A while later, an announcer shouted, Chapter 84, Trample Ruthlessly. The final battle, Guyu Fang Zheng versus Guyu Fang Yuan. Oh, interesting. To think that at the end, it is a showdown between brothers. Fang Zheng, seeing this, the clan leader's smile faded slightly. The greatest obstacle in your heart is your brother Fang Yuan. Go ahead and defeat him. You have red steel primeval essence while also having the jade skin goo. With both offense and defense, you have the greatest advantage. Break apart this obstacle in your way, and you shall be reborn. The final match finally started. The two brothers stood on the same arena, staring at each other. The last remaining sun rays were like blood. The light of the sunset was like a luxurious carpet for the arena. Two very similar faces. The little brother's fighting spirit burned on, while the older brother's gaze was deep as the abyss. Brother. Fang Zheng's fists were clenched as he stared intently at Fang Yuan, speaking with a firm voice. Admit defeat. I am already rank 2, and I have over 80% red steel primeval essence. Your green bronze primeval essence is only 44%. You have no chance. Fang Yuan lightly looked at his brother. You are surely clear about my primeval essence. But it's better if you don't spout nonsense. If primeval essence can decide the victory, what's the point of fighting? Fang Zheng was stunned, but soon he raised his spirits, and his vigor could be seen burning in his eyes. In truth, in the deepest part of his heart, he also did not want Fang Yuan to admit defeat. But Fang Yuan was his older brother after all. Thus, in view of their relationship, he had to say it. If not, that would be too cruel. Since Big Brother is so determined, then I have no choice but to attack. Before he finished his sentence, Fang Zheng rushed towards Fang Yuan. This again. Below the stage, Mo Bei, looking at this scene, gritted his teeth. He made up his mind to harshly train himself after going back and return this humiliation tenfold to Fang Zheng. Fang Yuan is finished. He does not have my dragon pill cricket goo. Qi Cheng folded his arms and smirked, enjoying Fang Yuan's troubles. Fang Zheng sprinted and instantly shortened the distance. In his hand, there was a ball of moonlight. Fang Yuan's expression was like steel. There was not a single change as he looked at the charging Fang Zheng. He did not take a single step away, but blue-colored moonlight also gathered in his right palm. Suddenly, Fang Yuan took a firm step after stomping the ground, and moved towards Fang Zheng instead of backing away. Fang Zheng did not expect Fang Yuan's movement. He panicked internally and quickly fired a moonblade. Fang Yuan rushed quickly and twisted his body, avoiding the moonblade by a hair's breadth. His expression was cold, without any shouting or aggression. But in his silence, there was an aura of absolute iciness emitting from him. Fang Zheng subconsciously took a few steps back. His limit was 6 meters, but now Fang Yuan was 5 meters away from him. This time he had to be the one trying to increase their distance. Dun dun dun. Fang Zheng retreated while flicking his right wrist several times, sending moonblades flying to try and push Fang Yuan back. Fang Yuan took fluid steps that were one after another, his body extremely agile. He moved intensely, and every time he managed to avoid the moonblade with no margin for error. This Fang Yuan is even more daring. Yao Hong shouted. Such a battle. They've disregarded death already. Qing Shu also exclaimed. Another battle maniac. Mo Yin gritted her teeth, giving a glance at Qi Shan, who was not far away. Qi Shan was expressionless, but his eyes glimmered occasionally. The noise from the audience stopped. They were all captivated by the battle on the stage. The moonblades and Fang Yuan brushed past each other. From time to time, there was a blue light that would reflect upon Fang Yuan's face. His cold expression remained as it was without any change, and each time he narrowly evaded death, showing his extreme battle talent. The clan leader and clan elders all showed a serious expression. Qi Cheng and Mo Bei stared with their mouths wide open, looking at Fang Yuan dodging every single moonblade in an impossible manner. How did he do it? Numerous students had a giant question mark on their heads. Humph! Fang Yuan, who had 500 years of battle experience. How can he be compared to Fang Zheng, who was only taught for a year by a rank Gu master? In Fang Yuan's eyes, Fang Zheng was as thin as a clear stream. No matter how the stream flowed or turned its way among the mountain rocks, he could see through it clearly to the bottom of the river. The moonblade's every attack was not instant. It needed a process. Fang Zheng had to flick his wrist, and that was the greatest foretelling. In Fang Yuan's eyes, Fang Zheng's shoulder movement, the movement of his wrist, every step he took provided a large amount of information. Fang Zheng's every attack, evasion, and dodging was easily seen through by Fang Yuan. Even as to what was going on in Fang Zheng's head, Fang Yuan could guess to a degree. Fang Jing's mind right now was flabbergasted. Fang Yuan was the obstacle in his heart for more than 10 years, the shadow quickly expanding into darkness, dragging him into the abyss. The nervous emotion made him forget to use the jade skin goo. Fang Yuan's strong approach caused him to panic, and he was unable to regain his tempo, thus not allowing him time to think. This was the difference in experience. This was the difference between inside knowledge. In Fang Yuan's perspective, his inside information was even more important than the spring-autumn cicada. It was his greatest reliance that he was able to not rely on the clan leader, family, friends, or goo worms that he had always and only relied on himself. In this world, only oneself is the most reliable. Those teammates and battle partners, they were just the masks of weaklings, the excuse to anticipate help from others. He finally reached near Fang Zheng. Bam! Fang Yuan's punch was pulled from a hidden angle, smashing right into Fang Zheng's stomach. Fang Zheng's body curled as the force of the fist almost caused him to vomit. He quickly protected his head with his arms and took a large step back. At the crucial moment, it showed his steady basic skills. Where is he? Fang Zheng's eyes stared wide, looking around from the gap between his arms, trying to find Fang Yuan's location. Behind. With this thought, Fang Zheng felt a strong force at his waist. He lost his center of gravity and fell on the ground. But Fang Zheng had gone through tough training. With this movement, he flipped around on the ground and at the same time, shot out a moonblade from his palm towards his back. This movement was the battle experience imparted by the clan leader. If it was a normal person, they might follow closely behind Fang Zheng. If they could not react in time, they would be hit by the moonblade. Even if the moonblade did not hit, they would be forced back. But who was Fang Yuan? Even Gu Yubo could not compete with him in terms of experience. Fang Yuan moved steadily, not giving chase. Instead, he moved in a circle and got near to Fang Zheng. The moonblade only managed to hit air. Fang Zheng thought he was able to pull some distance and quickly stood up. He was about to reorganize himself, but he suddenly heard a swoosh sound. This is the gust of a punch. At that split second, Fang Zheng had such a thought. Immediately after, he was harshly hit in the ear by Fang Yuan's fist. Bam! He immediately felt his vision darken, and a strong sense of dizziness caused him to lose balance, completely collapsing on the ground. He sprawled on the ground for over 2 breaths' time, and finally, he recovered slightly. His vision became clearer. Seeing Fang Yuan's 2 feet right beside him, he suddenly understood how ugly his situation was. He was sprawled on the ground like a dog while Fang Yuan stared at him from that high position. Damn it! Fang Zheng was furious and tried to get up. Under everyone's eyes, Fang Yuan lifted his right leg and stepped down firmly. Bam! Fang Zheng's head was harshly stepped on, like a rock hitting the stage, making a loud sound. Fuck! Fang Zheng raged and tried to get up again. Fang Yuan stared coldly, trampling down once again. Bam! Fang Zheng's head hit the stage again. His scalp knocked open and blood bled nonstop. Damn it. Fang Zheng's teeth were about to be crushed from his clenching, and the rage in his chest burned through his entire body. He raised his head again, trying to get up. Bam! Fang Yuan's 3rd step came down. This time he continued to step on his head, not letting go. Under the immense force, Fang Zheng's face was harshly squeezed on the stage floor. Fang Zheng's face was almost deformed, and he breathed raggedly, struggling to no avail. He felt that on his head, there was a huge rock that would not move no matter how he struggled. Right, how could I forget? I have the moonlight goo. Under the despair, Fang Zheng's inspiration struck, and he thought of the moonlight goo. His right palm gathered moonlight again. But how could Fang Yuan not notice? With a light sound, he shot out a moonblade on Fang Zheng's right palm. Arg! Fang Zheng cried out, the immense pain sending his body into a spasm like he was struck by lightning. His palm was almost pierced through by Fang Yuan, showing his white bones. The moonlight goo on his palm was already struck a great blow. It was on the brink of death. Chapter 85. Hot-blooded and cold-blooded. These 2 brothers really aren't on good terms, Yao Hong mumbled. This Fang Yuan is too cruel, treating his brother like this. Many people frowned unhappily. Fang Yuan is too savage, extorting our primeval stones for an entire year. Now he's treating his brother like this. The students gritted their teeth. Fang Yuan's coldness forced out their hatred towards a common enemy. Fang Zheng, stand up. Stand up. Defeat Fang Yuan. Some unknown student shouted, defeat Fang Yuan, defeat Fang Yuan. Instantly, many youngsters shouted, this Fang Yuan is indeed a hated person. Mo Yin snorted, enjoy his predicament. Fang Zhang, hang in there. Stand up. Defeat this monster Fang Yuan. Fang Zhang, stand up. We're with you. Fang Zhang, you can do it. You can do it. The crowd cheered on fiercely, and sounds of encouragement entered Fang Zhang's ears. Huff. 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 Fang Zhang gasped heavily. As the sounds entered his heart, it gave him an unimaginable strength. The scenes of the past played in his head. On the streets, the clansmen's comments. That's Fang Yuan, the future genius. He is not to be underestimated. Who's that behind him? Oh, probably his brother, who knows what his name is. Uncle and aunt laughed. Fang Yuan, now the entire village is discussing the new poem you wrote. This is very good. Uncle and aunt are proud of you. Fang Yuan waved his hand, saying calmly, I only made those on a whim. Uncle and aunt nodded, saying to Fang Zhang, learn well from your brother. If you were half as talented as your brother, we would not have to worry. Under the moonlight, deep in the courtyard, clan leader Guyubo looked at Fang Zhang, saying gently, Fang Zhang, have confidence. You must find your purpose, believe in yourself. But, Sir Clan leader, Guyubo patted his shoulders, encouraging, the shadow in your heart, others cannot dispel it for you. You can only rely on yourself. I await that day. The night before the year-end exam, Shen Shui looked at Fang Zhang with love in her gaze under the lamplights. Young master, I believe that you can get number one. I have always believed it. Work hard. The morning before departure, uncle and aunt stood at the doorstep. Fang Zhang, after the year-end exam, you would be leaving the academy. Seeing your growth, we are very happy. Go and show everyone the strength of an A grade. And, under the setting sun, in a dark corner, a female classmate cried profusely, the allowance is only 3 primeval stones, but Fang Yuan snatched a piece away, leaving me with 2. I am almost unable to feed my moonlight goo at this rate. Fang Zhang's heart softened. This is my primeval stone. I'll lend it to you. The female classmate took the primeval stone, saying with tears, Fang Zhang, you are too nice. Please defeat your brother and end his tyranny in the academy. Fang Zhang was silent. A bunch of classmates appeared in front of him. Fang Zhang, you are an A-grade talent. You can do it. Fang Yuan is too much, constantly bullying us. You are our only hope. Fang Zhang, from today onwards, we're with you. We will always support you. Everyone. Fang Zhang observed the surroundings, seeing the concerned pairs of eyes, and felt extremely touched. Everyone. Everyone has expectations of me. My classmates, uncle, aunt, Shen Shui, and Sir Clan leader. Everyone is waiting for me. Looking at me, supporting me. How can I lose? How can I fall here? How can I? Boom, 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 boom. His heart pounded in his chest, and Fang Zhang's eyes shone with brilliance. I cannot fall here. I will dispel the shadow and stand up. Fang Zhang's fists were tightly clenched, no longer feeling any pain at this point. He felt a lion in his chest, awakening from its sleep and opening its huge mouth to roar. Hot blood boiled in his body. Stand up, break the shadows, break the darkness. Arka hark. Fang Zhang opened his mouth wide to shout, his body starting to emit a green jade light. What's that? The crowd silenced. Jade skin goo. Someone shouted. Bam! The students roared towards the heavens. Fang Zhang, you can do it. Fang Zhang, we have your back. Finally, only one last cheer remained. Stand up. Stand up. Everyone. I can hear your voices. Fang Zhang clenched his fist, his teeth almost crushed. Fang Yuan's pressure was no longer so imposing. He could finally get up, slowly and steadily. The shouting intensified. He's burning with anger. He's going to do a comeback. Gu masters, hearing such cheers and excitement from the crowd, were all starting to feel moved. That's right, Fang Zhang. That's right. Stand up. Stand up. Abandon the past. Dispel the shadow and stand up. You will become a new person. Clan leader's eyes shone with bright light as he cheered Fang Zhang on in his heart. Jade skin goo. Fang Yuan's eyelids drooped. He pulled back his leg and saw Fang Zhang stand up slowly, the jade skin goo's radiance turning his face green. Fang Zhang had always been hiding this trump card up till now and did not reveal it to anyone, thus nobody knew about it. Fang Zhang got up. The crowd's cheers exploded. He stood up. Clan leader was moved, uncontrollably standing up from his seat. At this moment, he saw the rise of an A-grade talent. He saw the future of the Guyu clan. I stood up. Brother, I will defeat you. Fang Zhang's eyes burned with determination, his entire body enveloped in bright green light like he was wearing jade armor. Oh wow, this defense. Even the moon blade can't pierce it. It seems Fang Zheng wins. Yao Hong raised her brows, blowing a whistle. Indeed, even with the little light goo's reinforcement, hitting on this barrier, it would only cause Fang Zheng's primeval essence to be consumed faster. But comparing primeval essence expenditure, Fang Yuan is no match for Fang Zheng. After this match, Fang Zheng is going to rise. Qing Shu laughed lightly. Fang Zheng had a jade skin goo, but only used it now. It seems Fang Yuan's earlier attacks confused him. But now, victory is already waving towards him. Mo Yin folded her arms, her gaze slightly uncertain. Time seemed to have paused out on the stage. The brothers faced each other. The two's distance was so close yet so far. Fang Zheng's firm determination, Fang Yuan's eternal indifference. Little brother. He looked at Fang Zheng peacefully, his lips curling into a smirk. Thinking of defeating me, you're still far from it. He raised his right hand, his right arm flexing, pulling into a bow shape. Big brother, you've lost. Fang Zheng felt amused in his heart seeing Fang Yuan's raised fist. As long as he had primeval essence, even with the little light goo's reinforcement, the moon blade could not break the jade color barrier, not to mention his fist. Unless he used the flower boar goo or the brute force longhorn beetle goo to raise his strength. But even so, he would need a defensive type goo. Fang Yuan did not say anything, but he used his fist to give the most straightforward answer. The next moment, the right fist flew in the air and hit Fang Zheng harshly on the cheeks. Bam. After a loud crash, blood spilled as the jade light smashed to bits like broken mirror fragments dancing in the sky before vanishing. What? Fang Zheng was hit by such a shock once again, and after a stunned moment, his neck was almost broken as he hurriedly retreated. Fang Yuan followed up closely, using a bow step and raising his left fist, pulling back and striking again upwards. Bam. Fang Zheng's other half of his face was hit by the impact, his head rising high up with blood and broken jade light flying in the air. Bam, bam, bam. He took 3 steps backwards, his ears buzzing as a dizziness 10 times greater than before assaulted him. How can this be? His vision darkened, and he collapsed on the arena. Plop. Fang Zheng fell on the ground, the light dissipating on his body as he fainted in the next moment. The shouts and cheers came to an abrupt end. The happy, excited expressions of the students were still glued on their faces, unable to change due to such a shock. The entire arena was silent. Fang Yuan's fists were bloody, to the point his bloody finger bones could be seen. Drops of blood fell and dripped on the stage. Swoosh, a cold winter wind blew, freezing away all the hot-bloodedness. Fang Yuan's hair wavered in the air as he stood still on the stage. It was almost as if the heavily injured person with both his fists almost crippled was not him. He looked coldly at the surroundings with a calm expression. Everyone was silent. In the teenage, the clan leader was still standing, staring dumbfoundedly. Sorry, I've let you all disappointed, Fang Yuan said lightly.